Hi, my name is Owen Astrachan. I'm going to run through real quickly a way that I think is productive to do the AP Comp Sci A exam when you have your 45 minutes to complete two questions that are a little different than in the past. I am recommending, one, that you have already been to and are ready to go with the exam site. Here's my exam demo. You will have the actual exam site. I have a minute before it becomes live. As soon as it becomes live, I'm going to get my questions. I'm going to do the sample questions. I'm also going to suggest that you have Word open. I'm going to go into Word, make a new document. I'm going to call it, I'm going to put my name there. I'm doing this all ahead of time. My email address and my AP ID, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll actually have a real one. So I'm going to save this so that I can call it something. I'm going to call it apcsa 2020. I know right where it is, and I'm going to come back to that when I need it. I'm also going to go into Intelli J. Here I am in Intelli J, and I'm saying make a new project. I'm going to call this, and you all do this ahead of time. You don't wait till the day of the exam when it's starting. You do this like, I know where it is. It's called apcsa 2020. And I have this project ready to go. So I'm going to be able to say in my source folder where I'm going to put things. So I have where I'm going to ultimately copy and paste my answers in Microsoft Word, where I'm going to copy, paste, and do some stuff in my Intelli J environment or whatever your IDE is. And now the exam is live. Question 1, I did all that stuff ahead of time. It might take a little longer than the 10 seconds I took. Continue. The exam is going. I have 10 minutes to submit my work. I am going to look at the questions. This is a PDF of the exam questions. There's a class named Gizmo, and I'm going to have to do a lot of stuff with it. I'm not going to read it all right now. I have 25 minutes to do that. And then there's a class Online Purchase Manager. So I'm going to look at both of these, and I'm going to end up copying and pasting them. So the first I'm going to do is the Online Purchase Manager. I'm going to try to copy and paste that. So I'm scrolling down to the bottom. Apparently I'm not so good at scrolling, so I'm trying again. And let me go back. All right, here it is. Online Purchase Manager. So I'm copying. I know the name is Online Purchase Manager. I'm going to my IDE and I'm saying new Java class Online Purchase Manager. And I'm copying and pasting what I got from that site. It's going to have some red. Mostly there's this Gizmo class that it can't resolve. I'm going back here and now I'm going to copy and paste Gizmo. So usually there are going to be more than one class that depend on each other. And what I'm suggesting doing is not worrying about the red, but putting them both in here. So I have Online Purchase Manager. Now I'm going to have the Gizmo class. There it is. I'm going to copy and paste that. Now here it says public string getMaker, and I'm going to say return nothing. This is a Boolean. I am going to say return true. It's lowercase true. And this is going to say equals. Not shown. I'm also going to say return true. Now I'm pretty confident this class won't have any red. Now I'm going to go to Online Purchase Manager. It doesn't know what array list is. So I don't like red. None of this matters. I'm going to say import java.util.star. And now I'm going to go in here and say, okay, I've got this private variable. I have to do count electronics. And I'm going to say return 0. I just want to make it to have no red. And this is another Boolean. And I'm going to say return true and finish that off. Now I have no red. So I've got the stuff and I'm ready to go. I have Online Purchase Manager, count electronics by maker. I'm going to go read the problem now. So ready to read. So I'm scrolling through here and it says the Gizmo class represents gadgets. Here's some stuff. Implementation not shown, equals not shown. online purchase manager, sequence of gizmo objects. I'm reading the whole thing. I take much more time to read it. I'm only trying to do how to use your IDE. Part A, write count electronics by maker. It examines the array list variable purchases to determine how many gizmo objects are electronic and manufactured by maker. So I have to know, are they electronic and are they manufactured by maker? And I can see these sample calls. Maker is a parameter to this method, and I need to know, is it electronic and is it created by maker? So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to do count electronics by maker. Here it is, count electronics by maker. I've read, I have to loop over that. In my experience, I have to count them, so I'm going to say int total is 0 and return total. This is the way I always write my methods. I create the variable I'm going to use and I return it. There's no red. I've initialized it. You might forget to initialize it. Now I have to loop over the elements of purchases. They are gizmos. It's by far easy to use a for each loop. So I'm going to say for gizmo g in purchases. And it's autocomplete. And now I have to say if g dot, and this is the great part. I have this is electronic. That's what I want. And g dot get maker, and that has to equals maker. And total plus gets 1 or plus plus. The key here, among other things, is remember, get maker uses dot equals. If you used equals equals, you'd probably lose some points. Strings, dot equals. Remember, you could always write this as the other way, which is maker dot equals g dot get maker. I should let that autocomplete. Either one of those is fine. It can go either way. I'm done. I'm going to review and make sure I got that right. If it's electronic and it's made by maker, then am I missing a parenthesis? Maybe so. That's not going to matter, but I like to have no red. Return total. Initialize, update, return. If you're going to count things, that's what you're going to do. So I'm not going to actually test this. I'm just going to complete it. Now, part B. When purchasing items, users occasionally purchase two identical items in rapid succession. You want to know if they request blah, blah, blah. I'm reading it. If an adjacent equivalent pair is found, it returns true. If no pair is found, it returns false. And then it says two identical, the method detects whether two adjacent, okay, has adjacent equal pair. So I'm going to go back to my IDE, has adjacent equal pair. I already know I'm going to have to use an indexed loop now because I have to look at index I and I plus 1 or index I and I minus 1. Now, which one is easiest? That kind of depends on what you prefer. I already know that going off the end is an easy thing to do. I like to use K, so I'm going to start at 1. I'm going to go up to purchases.size and K++. And the reason I use starting at 1 is I am going to say if the pairs are equal. So I'm going to say gizmo A is purchases.getK and gizmo B is purchases.getK minus 1. You can either use K and K plus 1 or K and K minus 1. And now what I want to do is say if A dot equals B, return true. And when I'm done, I return false. The key there is you can't return false until you've examined every pair. You can return true as soon as you find something. Once again, this is about calling dot equals on gizmo objects. I have to remember to use dot get and not brackets because this is an array list. All right, I'm done with those two things. Now what's left? What's left is part C, and part C is what they're calling the open-ended question. A programmer would like to add this method which returns the least expensive blah blah blah. Make sure to include the following. The method header for get cheapest gizmo by maker. I have changed the gizmo class and the online purchase manager class. I need to write get cheapest gizmo by maker, which is going to be in this class. What I'm going to do is make some comments, and I'm going to write my answers in the comment section. So I'm going to write that, and I know it starts with a /* and it ends with a */, and I am going to write my description here. I don't want all those asterisks, they're just getting in the way. So, describe for each, write the method header for get cheapest gizmo by maker. All right, so returns the least expensive gizmo purchased by an individual from a given maker. All right, I have to read this carefully and realize that the maker is going to be a parameter to get cheapest gizmo by maker. I can copy and paste that, and so I'm going to say write public get cheapest gizmo by maker, and the maker is a string, just like I had before. Write method with this header, because the question specifically asks to write the method header. I have to realize that it wants a gizmo. Identify any new or modified variables, constants, or constructors aside from this one. Do not write the code for this change. Describe how it would change or be implemented, including visibility and type. Do not write the program code for this change. How it would change gizmo and online purchaser classes. I have to write that. So I'm going to say write method with this header. And I'm going to describe what to do. Loop over elements in purchases and find the cheapest one whose maker is the string parameter. I don't know how much detail I want. I would compare each price in the loop to a min price and adjust the min price and the gizmo object with that min price to return it. That's just reminding you that as you loop, you have to say if the current price is less than the min, update the min, but you also have to remember the gizmo object. And now I'm going to back and review it, and it says I am going to need some kind of way of determining what the price is. So I'm going to have to add a method to the gizmo class. I'm going to say modify gizmo class to add method get price to return price. Price would be a private instance variable returned in the method by the new method get price, and the value of this instance variable could be set in a constructor with a double parameter for price. Alternatively, could have a set price, double price method. Either could work. All right, now Intelli J always saves this. Now I'm going to go back and see, that's part A, B, C. Now I'm just going to go into Intelli J, and all these things were in the online purchaser class. I didn't have to do anything to Gizmo except have these stub methods that return nothing. So I'm going to go in here and I am going to copy and paste Count Electronics by Maker. That's my part A. I'm going to go to my Microsoft Word and I'm going to write, okay, part A, paste. I shouldn't have used paste. I should have used paste and match formatting. There we go. I'm not worried about anything else. Then I'm going to say part B. I'm going to go back here. That's going to be this method has adjacent pair. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it into here. Now, if you do all that, it turns out that the font is gigantic, so you might want to change that. That's pretty easy. Just come in here and say, you know what? I want a 12-point font. That might make it easier to use. You can either do it that way or do it that way. Now for part C, I'm just going to come in here and copy paste this comment, which is all from there. I could have done Control A to select all, but I'm probably doing it this way. And here's part C. And I'm pasting it in there. And again, the font was too big, so I'm going to undo that paste and just say paste and match formatting. There we go. I'm going to save this, and now I'm going to go back and say, hey, look, question 2 begins now. I have time to submit my work. I'm going to attach my response. I'm going to attach a text file. I'm going to hopefully attach, I have to browse for file. There it is, APCSA 2020, submit. I won't be able to do anything other than submit. Alternatively, I'm going to submit it. I could have also used the copy paste thing. That will go right here. That will allow me to copy paste directly into there. You can only paste, you can't actually type. So there we go. That's it. Voila. I hope you enjoyed it.